know some people probably had it hard, but I was blessed. I ain't never saw my mom and daddy stressed. They only show success. I'm living comfy from the sweat out they backs, and that's why all I ever wanted was to give it back. I'm not ashamed cause I was raised right. Nope. I would only be ashamed if I didn't help you fight through the pain, help you journey out the games that your mind played. No matter what, I'm never letting my shine fade away. Forever searching for knowledge, hoping I find grace. Keep your intentions pure, be sure about the risk you take. Pop said failure builds character. I came up short a time or two. Your mind know what your heart been through. Don't let that pressure startle you, and faith out in the Lord will do you justice. We sat and we discuss it. This assistance for the public. A little love will help recover from your struggle. If iron sharpens iron, and let's journey out together forever. J.O.P. It's Journey Out Podcast. Welcome to the Journey Out Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Journey Out Podcast. We are so excited to have you back. As always, please feel free to like, share, subscribe. We are seeing all of the amazing people that are subscribing to the channel and following us, and we love you. Like, we're literally almost hitting 1,000 subscribers.
Thank you.
That is just so crazy.
Thank you.
So just continue to like, share, subscribe, and we just hope that this is impacting you all as much as it's impacting us, right? But we have a very, very great episode here. I know I say that all the time, but that's just because I love everyone who comes on. But this is really such a great episode because we have our friends, Katrina and Kendrick with Care Patrol of Arlington here with us today. Let's give them a round of applause.
Good morning.
Good morning, y'all. It's so good to have y'all here. I just hope y'all know how honored we are. Longtime friends, but it's so great to even just spotlight y'all because you guys are in an industry that most people don't know about.
Yes. Right.
Senior placement, right? Yes. Mm-hmm. So first and foremost, before we even get into that, tell us who Katrina and Kendrick are. What are y'all backgrounds?
Ooh, I'm the goofball of the bunch.
Amen to that.
I'm the goofy one. Background, before even getting into senior care, I did mortgage. I've been a loan officer. I've been a processor. My last job, I'm really good at. Kendrick calls me the police.
The police.
I did compliance for a mortgage company.
Okay.
And I would catch loan officers doing things on loans they should not be doing.
Right.
So I was the police of the mortgage company and hated it. Hated it. I mean, like, go to work like, okay, get my mind right. Let me pray real quick. Get this together before I walk in. It was one of those situations. And then Kendrick was like, you can't keep coming home doing this every day.
Right.
And I'm going to make this real short. So
go ahead.
Dad was a police officer for the city of Arlington. My dad retired and he franchised a Golden Chick.
Okay.
So he went from policeman to chicken man.
Right.
And kept trying to get me in for years to run the business. And I said, I didn't go to college to run a chicken joint.
Right. Okay.
That's what I told him. But I wish I would have took the opportunity to really learn and understand what he did.
Right.
Yeah.
But he kept saying, get you a franchise, look into something different. You hate your job. He was like, come on, Demon, do it. Side note, Demon is a nickname because I used to always walk around like this.
Okay.
So
and
he calls me Demon.
In trouble.
Yeah, always in trouble. Okay.
So Dad calls me Demon. He was like, Demon, look into franchising.
Right.
So I wasn't really serious about it. Kendrick is the researcher. He's going to get the facts. He's going to get everything done.
Good.
So Kendrick we started looking at franchises, and then we got introduced to Care Patrol, and it was a done deal. Okay. I was instantly wanted to do it. I was in tears. I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. I've done this before.
We've done it before. Kendrick, what about you?
I'm a teacher where I've worked in multiple realms of K-12 education, coordinating as a coordinator for special education, things like that. So really just like I've always liked looking at something, a process in an organization and making it better. I've always enjoyed growing people and growing teams. So I saw the struggles that Katrina was having at work,
growing spouses.
There you go. So I was like, why do this with people that I don't know when, we could do this and take this journey together. And I didn't know anything about the senior industry. In fact, whenever we first came across doing senior advising, for me, I was thinking, well, you can't win all the time, we're going to help a lot of people, but we're probably going to be over here struggling because for me, I didn't see the need because I didn't know anything about the industry.
Right.
But once I got into the industry, it was very eye opening.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think I was going to add to that, why seniors? Like, when, you guys come from different backgrounds, so now you're looking at it like, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to help these seniors, but why seniors?
What triggered that?
Yeah.
We always call ourselves granny's babies.
Granny's babies.
Our grandmothers were a big impact on our lives. And I actually helped place my grandmother help her find a place at a young age.
Okay.
She moved in with us. She was there for about 7 years. And one day she sits me down and she was like, hey, I need you to help me to find my forever home. And I said, well, your forever home is here with me.
Right.
And she was like, nope. She said, I want activities. I want transportation. I want to go to bingo. I want to make friends. Like, I've done my job as a parent and grandparent. Like, it's time for you to help me to find my place. So at that time, we had phone books. So me and Granny grabbed a phone book and we wrote down about 15, 20 communities between mom and dad's house. And she goes, we're going to go to all of these. And I was like, all of them? She was like, every single one. And she says, when we go in here, their job is to sell me. While they're selling me, I need you to be discreet. I need you to look. Listen to what questions they're asking me. Tell me what you see when you walk into a place so you can help me decide at the end, is this what I need?
Right.
I was like, okay, when do we start? She said tomorrow. So my grandmother called a community, made an appointment, and then picked me up from school the very next day, gave me a pencil and a notepad and said, here's for you to take your notes. Our tour is at 4:00. So we went to our first community and walked in there. And as soon as we walk in, they greeted my grandmother, of course. So Margaret introduced themselves. And I'm just looking around.
Peeping
and
the scene.
there is a gentleman at his mailbox covered in urine all around his wheelchair. And I know she told me to be discreet, but I just couldn't let that man just sit there. So I said, Granny, he needs help. And she said, we're on a tour. I said, no, he needs help. He can't be sitting out here like that. And she said, what word did you learn yesterday that I told you about? I said, discreet. She said, are you being discreet right now? No, but he need help, Granny. She said, So I disobeyed my granny and I ran to the station and had somebody come and help this man out. Then I went back on tour with my grandma. So I say all of that to say that, it's funny how God works things out.
Right.
Because what I did at the age of 10, 11, didn't think that would be a career that I was passionate about. In my 30s.
Yes.
Right.
Know that
So
all
when
too well.
when Care Patrol was introduced, I was like, you mean I can do this for other people's grandparents?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I love that. I love that.
And Kendrick, you want to add on to that?
Just kind of like Katrina said, my grandmother is a huge part of my life. And I've always just had that respect for older adults because growing up, sometimes things weren't always the best, and no knock on parents, but parents, they got things going on. They're trying to figure it out.
Exactly.
They're trying to figure life out themselves. So a lot of times, grandparents and older adults at your church, things like that, those are the people who really keep you on the straight and narrow. Parents take a lot of credit for it, but we know those sisters and brothers at that church house, they looked out for me. And I remember the first time I felt like I was worth anything was, this lady, her name was Effie Thompson. And I joined, we became members of a new church. And she saw me coming to church all the time. And she brought me a pair of church socks. And she was like, here you go, Mr. Taylor. Every man needs a good pair of socks to put on with his church shoes. And I tell you, that was a very, very pivotal role in my life because it really did make me start gravitating even more towards seniors.
So that's great. Both of y'all journeys
To where we are today.
Where we are today. So, all right, let's start with the basics.
Okay.
What exactly does a senior placement agency do? And to add to that, how is Care Patrol of Arlington different from any other options out there?
So a placement agency will let people know about, if someone's looking for an assisted living. Here's what's in your area. Here is a list. Go check them out. Let me know what your thoughts are and which one you like.
That's what placement
agencies do.
That's what they're good at.
We do not do placement. You place furniture, not people.
Right.
Amen.
We are senior advisors.
Whoa.
Love
So
that.
we advise on all aspects of senior living, whether it's financial advisors, whether it's helping with end-of-life planning, like your funerals, elder law attorneys. We are over the whole spectrum of senior care. Now, in regards to helping someone if they need that service to go into an assisted living. We are the experts in that. But it's more than just, again, you place furniture.
Right.
We are here to advise families in that time of need.
Yeah, through the aging process. Think about it as the whole aging process. Whatever they may need in the aging process, it may just be, they may not need to go anywhere. They just may need handrails in their shower.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Right.
They may need help with understanding how to lift a loved one. So connecting them to services like that.
Right.
How to transfer.
So let's dig a little deeper into that, because like you said, you guys aren't just placing, you are senior advisors, you walk through the whole process. So there's the option of staying in the home.
Yes.
There's also the option of going into different communities. So what does that process look like? What, like you said, maybe it's a tour. What does that look like?
So when we get a phone call, imagine like a social worker outside of the rehab in the hospital. So when we get the phone call, we meet the families in person over the phone. There's been plenty of nights where we go sit on people's couches or kitchen table. I mean, not on the kitchen table, but at the kitchen table. And we just talk about, why are we here and what are we looking for your loved one. So we're going to discuss care needs.
Right.
What does that look like? We also want to know who the person was. Like, if they had dementia, prior to dementia, what was your dad like? What did he do for a living? And as they're telling us these stories, we can pinpoint certain things in certain communities, like if dad was a big golfer. So we pretty much get to understand what the need is. And then from there, we go out and versus the family taking all these tours and going to places and calling here and there, that's what we do. Like we are your concierge to do this service for you. So once we narrow down some options, we are going to take you on tour, because my job is to advocate for your parents. There may be questions that you don't think to ask that I'm going to ask. Do we have sliding scale insulin? 2-person assist, Hoyer, whatever we need. That's my job to ask, because you don't know coming in what question to ask.
So since y'all know these places, right? So y'all pretty much advise the person or their loved one that's looking for somewhere to, I guess, for lack of a better word, transition to a different community. Y'all could let them know yay or nay, or hey, I know something that's going to fit you.
Most definitely.
Okay.
Most times the biggest complaint that we have from customers or clients is that, geez, you guys make this really hard. Because Katrina,
I like them both.
Katrina says, when we receive a phone call, the first thing we do is a care discovery. So we sit down, we understand what events led us to that person calling us. Then we look at the level of need, because the safety is the most important thing. That's most important in keeping a person safe through the aging process. So once we understand the needs, we're able to understand, okay, this person needs independent living, or this person just maybe needs somebody to come in and check on them from time to time. So after that, then, like Katrina said, we connect them to those services.
And what I was going to say, because what you're saying, and especially that care discovery that you're talking about, it really sounds like you're building a relationship.
Most definitely.
A professional relationship where they can trust you.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about that and why that is so important for you to kind of build that relationship with the family first before you're advising them on that next place to go.
It's important because the families need to know and want to know who they're working with. It's more than just a phone call. They want to feel like I'm not a robot. I'm a real person coming to your house to help advocate for your loved ones. A lot of families I know trust us because I give it to them straight. I'm not going. I'm just not here to just show you something like we're going to have a conversation. We do a lot of come to Jesus meetings with families. There's been times where we had a family and 9 siblings who didn't talk to each other for years. And we had to sit down on the living room floor and have a whole meeting of what is best for your parent. I don't care what happened to y'all 20 years ago. We're here for the parent. And I think when people see that, it's not a gimmick. It is like
it's real.
I don't care I don't care that you like red curtains. Your daddy said he's not going nowhere. So let's see what all we can do to make his last years the best last years. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am Katrina Taylor with Care Patrol Arlington, and this is
Kendrick Taylor.
We are your duo for Care Patrol here. We help families navigate all aspects of senior living. If you need any assistance, our direct contact number is 228-7220. Website is www.carepatrol.com/Arlington, and email ktaylor1@carepatrol.com.
So you
Right.
just gave an example of some complications that you find
Right.
within the family dynamic, right? And y'all saying y'all have come to Jesus moments, and they trust you all. So tell me about a time with a family that really touched y'all hearts when y'all was helping them find somewhere to.
My girl,
Yo, is your girl there?
She said, "My girl."
I helped. I'm gonna say her name, Mrs. Helen. That was my girl, y'all. Miss Helen was a registered nurse for years. She had saved up for when she needed to transition into senior care. No children. Husband died of cancer in their 40s. Traveled all the time. Was in the community, at the senior centers, at the YMCAs, took care of local children in her community.
Getting them out of the
fed them,
streets.
got them out the streets. Like she was a mogul in her community. I get a phone call to come meet Miss Helen because she cannot go home. She can't go home with her niece. Go meet Miss Helen. She is absolutely wonderful. She is a victim of elder abuse, financial abuse. Her niece sold her home. Took over $150,000 of her money and said that she was done. She was not taking care of her aunt anymore. So go meet Miss Helen. Here's what I do. Like I said, Miss Helen, you are still young. We got a lot of life to live. So you're going to help. We're going to work on this together and find you a place. So I established a great relationship with Miss Helen. We moved her into an assisted living that she picked because she loved the activities director, and she was a domino champ. Miss Helen she could slam them dominoes.
Wow.
Right.
So found Miss Helen a place, stayed in contact. I would bring her depends, any supplies that she didn't need. Kendrick and I went to Hawaii for our anniversary last year. That's her favorite place to travel. Came back to her assisted living, showed her pictures, told her about the trip. Like I would make up her bed. I am the advisor that if I go in somebody's room and it's not put together, just because she doesn't have family, we're going to treat her like that. Hey, her room needs to be cleaned. Her trash needs to be empty.
Right.
Like
Advocate
I'm going to go in there
for
like
it.
that. And so I would
Yes.
always advocate for Miss
Yes.
Helen. If she had a fall, I was going to the hospital and rehab. she just became mine.
Right.
Miss Helen passed recently. We did go to the funeral. She was big into church and hats in her wardrobe. The family gifted me a hat to wear to church for her. But she's the one that stands out the most because she went through what you try to avoid your parents going through.
Right.
And then it was family that took advantage of her.
So let's reverse that question a little bit. All right. So that's a heartbreaking, but a love story, in other words, right? That your job, your passion put you in touch with someone that you can really spend time with, help, and develop a loving family relationship with. Now, what do you see when families come to you and you get that call? Like you gave a little example about the dynamic, what happened 20 years ago. What is when you cannot help a family, and I know you guys, y'all go out your way, but what is the biggest thing that happens when you can't help a family? Is it family dynamic, or is it just...
So what it all boils down to, honestly, when we're unable to help a family, Katrina and I, we are experts at navigating family issues.
Wow.
Actually, there are hospice companies, hospitals that when they should have called us a long time ago, but when they start hitting these family dynamics, we're kind of the go-to for stuff like that. We can always navigate that. The thing that stops us more than anything from helping people is not being prepared.
So the family not being
the
prepared.
family and the older adult not being prepared, not having the financial means to afford care, to pay for care. So in situations like that, it's like Katrina says, we're very straightforward and honest with them. Listen, this is how much care costs. A lot of times people don't believe you, but we show them. Like, hey, look, I'm going to actually send you some referrals, and I'm going to take you out on tour sometimes, just so you can see that what I'm telling you is the truth. And we educate them. The majority of our time is spent educating. I would say 70% to 80% of the work we do is free.
Right.
And we educate them on also their finances, because you can say, oh, mom has this much, we sold her house, we're good to go. But our conversation is, let's break this up and see how many years this lasts.
Yeah.
So you don't, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
So even though you can't help that person directly in putting them work in the community that they need, you still educating and showing them some resources to help them once you leave.
Most
That's
definitely.
great.
We think about how can we age safely within the budget that you do have.
Right.
So if you're only getting $1,200 a month, okay, let's talk about what we can do with that.
Right.
Do you have any rails in the shower right now?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
well, we can definitely get some of those.
Right.
Do you have? Are you staying by yourself? Are you paying? If they're not paying rent, if they're staying with someone else, let's look at that $1,200 and see if we can even just supplement maybe an hour, like 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A couple times a week for somebody to come in
And assist.
and assist. So that's what we do. We try to put together a plan that can help them, and then we also connect them to resources that can help them with ongoing navigation
Right.
Of that
I love
territory.
that.
That's great.
And before we move on from this, I too wanna, because I know we have our social butterfly here. She got the relationships down, but you come from like that analytical kind
Most
of viewpoint. So kind of just tell me, like, when you're stepping into,
We balance each other out
it's just
very
a
well.
balance act. I just love that. And I don't even know if we mentioned this though, but like, similar to us, this is family here.
Right.
Husband and wife. Okay, so it's just a wonderful balancing act. But when you're stepping into these assisted living or these facilities that you're going into, what are some of those red flags or key data points that you're kind of watching out for?
Okay, so for me, I am all about data, and I notice trends. So for me, the number one thing, the first thing I do is always go to state sites. I mean, that's information we give families. It's free information. You can go and look it up, see if there's any neglect, anything like that. So I look for those major violations because, you're able to collect data from across multiple years, not just, from what you've seen.
Right.
The next thing I look at is staff. What's the tenure like? How long they've been here? I find that when there is a lot of turnover, care is always going to suffer. Whether it be turnover with caregiving staff, turnover with whoever is the executive director. And then the next piece is it privately owned or is it corporately owned? Because it makes a big difference. Because many times if something is corporately owned, what you'll see is people trying to come in and rebrand or turn something over, or, but more than anything, it's just that because we are senior advisors, we tour with our families.
Right.
That's one of the huge differences between us and the majority of anybody in this industry is that nobody else tours.
Wow. Really?
Right.
No.
So they just send the family
They
over?
just send a list.
Send the list.
And then it's up to the family to pick from the
They
list.
take the list. We get
Wow.
calls all day long of people who have gotten lists from placement agencies and they're out with this list. And then they tell me, I'm like, okay, so where'd you get the list from? And they'll tell me, and I'm like, okay, what's your budget? Well, I got $2,000 for mom. And I'm like, listen, nothing on that list.
These places on here.
They've been, at this point, some of them been to 10, 15 places.
Oh,
They're
wow.
tired.
They're
angry.
tired. They're angry. I'm like, and that's why for me, I always talk to social workers at skilled nursing facilities and things like, don't give people lists. Just give them my number. Like,
Right.
we gonna hang out
Amen
with
to
them.
This is
And,
not
that.
what you do
This is
24/7.
right.
This is what we
Exactly.
do 24/7.
Yeah.
Just give them.
so for me, like I said, just really focusing on, do they have tenure staff? What does the care violations look like on the state website? Is it privately owned or corporately owned? And what is the census like?
Yeah.
Because when the census low, people do weird things.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
And then what have previous clients of ours said
Yes,
about?
and previous clients.
Yeah, nothing's better than like a review,
Most definitely,
right?
yeah.
So that's
Most
super
definitely.
important. And so with going into that, so you talked about some key parameters there, and I think it would be remiss if we didn't talk about the new Senate bill that is being potentially passed, that's coming up. So within this bill, 13883 and House Bill 2510, it is giving more oversight to you as as a placement agency in referring to unlicensed residential care homes. So how do you see this legislation impacting your industry and pretty much your business specifically?
Okay, so Katrina and I, we actually drove to Austin, met with our state representatives, met with some of the staff, their staff managers, things like that, and even worked with another location, Care Patrol location, and we put together like a list of things when the bill was still young of things that we would like to see in the bill. And I think that oversight is great. It's needed.
For sure.
I would love to live in a world where everybody is going to do the right thing.
Right.
But when we're dealing with our most vulnerable population, we can't take any chances.
Right.
So with the bill that oversees placement agencies, it's important for us to have insurance. So those are some of the things that it puts in place. It's important for us to have a criminal background check. It's important for us to not charge communities even though we didn't help the family, because that's what happens now.
Oh, really?
Yes. So those people that I told you about who call with a list, I literally cannot help them because they're represented by someone else. And because there was no legislation in place to enforce the rule that they have the right to choose who represents them. So we had a federal do not represent me, but locally here in Texas, it was kind of like the Wild Wild West. Nobody had to follow it. We had some other Care Patrol locations like Anna McMasters in Austin, who kind of helped lead a charge as well about that piece, which was very powerful legislation. And it holds places like A Place for Mom liable. So now clients truly have a choice. If they say, I want to work with Care Patrol and not you guys because all you did was send me a list, now when they call my phone, it's a different conversation. Like, hey, here's a do not represent me, get that signed for me, and let's go get this figured out.
I love that. I love that.
Now, let's switch the subject a little bit.
Okay.
What is the funniest or most unexpected thing that's ever happened on a facility visit or tour?
It would happen to me, of course. We had a client, Dr. D. He wanted to move into a community. So Dr. D was wheelchair bound. I went to a friend of mine at Compass Rehab, showed me how to transfer properly because I was just so nervous about, this is my first tour with somebody who needs help with transfer.
She prepared for this tour for probably like 3 weeks.
I was like, I cannot
going
drop
and taking
this
lessons.
Man. I was at to show me how to use the gate belt, like all that.
Understood. It's important to know.
Because I was like, I cannot hurt this man. He's been through enough already. That's my mindset. So I go to pick him up. We get some coffee, and then we get to the community. And I said, all right, Dr. D, I said, I'm going to come around. I'm going to get the chair and lock it up. I'm ready. I've been practicing, right? So get Dr. D, unbuckle his seatbelt, and I have to, kind of lift him from the front. Dr. D says, oh, Katrina. I said, what's wrong? I'm nervous. He said, it's been a long time since I felt breast on me. I said, I'm like this. I said, Dr. D, I will drop you based off that comment that you made. I said, don't say that. Don't say that to me no more. Don't do that. He said, I'm sorry. And so then I put him down, got him in the wheelchair. We unlocked, and I said, that part never happened. Okay. I said, we gonna start over from this point. He was like, yes, ma'am, I'm sorry. And then we went and had great tours.
Good.
But it just threw me off because I had been preparing I wouldn't.
But you know what? But you know what too? Like I don't want it to be remiss. Like that's a hilarious story. But at the same time, like literally because you're gonna take a client to go and see a facility or a home, you as the owner of Care Patrol decided I'm going to make sure I practice to make sure I get him in and out of the car safely.
Make sure I know what I'm doing.
To transport him where he needs to go so he can personally see the places where he could put
Most
that is in and of itself above and beyond. Like in and of itself.
But that's the expectation for us.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
This man was in an extended stay and had no business being there.
Right.
He was getting home
Wow.
health and physical therapy in an extended stay.
If you tell me that
That's amazing.
you're advising seniors and you're going to help them find the best options for themselves, that's the expectation.
That's the expectation.
You
That's the
gotta take care of it.
expectation.
Could y'all imagine if I would have didn't take the lessons and
Just did whatever.
didn't lock the wheelchair, drop the man?
Yeah.
Imagine
Lord.
sending him a list,
Wow.
because that's as far as it goes.
That's
And
far
how
as
is he
it goes,
going to get
'cause
there?
how he gonna
is
get
he going to?
there? Right.
We going to put this man in Uber?
Right.
Like, how is he going to
Oh
get there?
Lord, what you guys do is pivotal, like really pivotal. And what you did was support him
Right.
in this journey and transition. So I would say, ask for families who are overwhelmed by trying to find somewhere for them, their loved one to go. What would be the first bit of advice that you would give them to kind of help them just take a breather and just take that next step?
Call somebody who know what they're doing.
Amen.
If you got
do it
arrested
by
by the
yourself.
cops today and they told you that you robbed somebody last night at 11 p.m. and you was at home binge watching TV,
Right.
what you gonna do? You're gonna call a lawyer.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not
Whenever
gonna-
you're
yeah.
in a tight situation that you do not understand, you do not know how to navigate it, you need to call a professional.
Yep.
Right. And then there are also, too, a lot of people who don't know that there are senior advisors or placement agencies out there. So what, as an industry as a whole, what are you all's thoughts on kind of bringing that stigma down? Because same thing with us. A lot of people don't know
lot
home
of
care
people don't know.
exists.
They
Yes.
don't know.
Right?
Don't know.
So what do y'all think about that? And how can that be improved?
I mean, at a local level, something that Katrina and I are championing right now to bring more awareness to it is just really like establishing support groups in all the communities that multiple. Right now we're
love
working
that.
on 5 support groups. Right now it's for
Love
dementia
that.
care. And then we also want to get into like just adult caregivers of parents. I think the grassroots effort is the best
the
Best
way
way. Right.
to
Right.
build awareness.
Love
At our church, our senior group is called the Seasoned Saints. And they all know Bro and Sis Taylor. They know what we do, who we are. If there's ever a question, they'll say, you know what, let me get you Kendrick or Kat's number.
Right.
But we become a part of our senior community in our
In that
church.
church.
So
That's awesome.
that way people know. And then we've also had it to like we talk so much like tell your children.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
when
that's the
something
key.
hains, your kids need to be prepared.
That's
Right.
So you
grassroots.
need to. I tell my mom all the time, I want specific instructions
Right.
from you.
Right.
From you.
So we just pretty much educate the seniors at our church about the same thing. Have your child call me. If it doesn't make sense, have them call me
Like
directly.
some
Right.
people at our church have in their will, they've put our card in the folder
Right.
Yeah.
with their
If
will.
I ever
I
get to
love
this
that.
point, contact
Contact.
Katrina and Kendrick.
You guys are awesome. Y'all
I
are
love
awesome
that.
with that.
I love
Real
that.
quick, if you two were a senior living facility, what kind of community would you guys be?
Yeah, paint the picture for us.
How many beds? Let's start with beds. How many beds?
Well, you know I'm a hoarder.
You are.
So I'm gonna need at least 2 bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I just don't throw anything away. I hold on to it forever.
No, if you were a senior living community.
Community. Oh, I mean, what I'm looking for when I go pick
No,
mine.
no.
Oh, no,
No,
We
well,
don't determine that we're going to be in
I'm
senior
painting
living.
a picture of where I want to
Most
move to.
definitely. Most definitely.
You don't
Okay.
want to be in the hoarder spot.
Two bedroom.
Katrina live in the hoarder spot right now. What you talking about?
I don't throw away anything.
Look, that's him.
Okay,
Oh my
ask the
God.
question again, because I.
So if you two were a senior living facility,
Okay.
what kind of community would you be?
If we were one,
Yeah.
definitely a type B, because I don't want people to be turned away because they need more assistance. So I would definitely
Break
be,
down type B a little bit.
Okay, so there's in Texas you have type A and type B communities. The only difference is who can evacuate by themselves, who can evacuate in
Right.
a certain amount of time frame, but needs assistance evacuating. So
Right.
type B are those who need assistance evacuating. A lot of people, I hear people say, I hate this term. I want, find me walkie-talkies. I want walkie-talkies. My community, I don't care if you can walk or talk. Everybody is welcome. I don't
Right.
care
Right.
the acuity of care.
Yeah.
I want to be able to take everybody.
Love that.
they would eat good in my community. Food is going to be a
Amen.
must. I want seniors in there gaining weight.
Right.
We're probably going to have Hoyers just because of weight gain. But that's the biggest complaint is food. I need a solid cook, somebody granny in the kitchen.
Amen.
And then activities. I have
Socialization.
To, it's
is
so
very-
important.
It's so
It's so
important.
It's so
Right.
important.
You know, I mean, yeah, go ahead, babe. I'm
I
sorry.
need somebody who is going to get on Pinterest,
Right.
who is creative. Like, I want in my community people to always be engaged in something.
Right.
Even if you have those that are introverts, maybe I can come sit in your room and we can play some cards, or we can people watch and talk about who you don't like in the community. But I want everybody to be a part of something.
Yeah.
But
Need
that
purpose.
that would
Everybody
be
needs purpose.
everybody needs purpose.
I love that.
All right.
What about you, Kendrick?
Yeah.
Pretty much the same thing. Not too big for me. You know, I mean, I for me when I think about something, I feel like
Are you a
about
16
30.
bed person?
No, definitely not 16. I think
Just
16 is too
intimate.
small.
Yeah,
I
something
think I
intimate.
think like anywhere between like I think about 30 beds.
30 beds
is
big.
a
Okay.
good. That's a good number.
Okay.
It's big enough to have the socialization and create a community,
Community,
without
yeah.
being overwhelming.
I love that.
But it's like Katrina said, just that socialization. Older adults waking up in the morning with purpose, and things to do.
Right.
I really like Montessori type models. If you if
Yeah.
people are able to participate in those things, having like Katrina's talking about somebody's grandmama in the kitchen cooking, having our seniors do
In the
things.
kitchen
You know what I'm
cooking.
saying?
Yeah.
Like a sense of true purpose.
Show me your favorite recipe. We're going to make that today.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
I love that. I love that we're kind of ending with that question, because it kind of gives the sense of what families should be looking for themselves. You know, so I love that as a whole. So, in closing, what is next for Care Patrol of Arlington, and what does the future look like for you guys?
Ooh, I don't know what the future looks like for Care Patrol. But I'm very positive about it. I know God has a plan, and I just ask him to order my steps and put me where I need to be.
Amen.
I just want to continue to help families as much as I can, because that's what brings me joy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as long as I keep doing what I'm doing to helping families, that's all for me. But for you, what do you see for our future? Now, I'm always about the fields and the people. So,
for me, because the senior living industry is becoming more and more popular because we have more people aging into it, I think that innovation is going to be key in continuing to do what we do, because you do have so many competitors who are using technology, sending lists, things of that nature. So different creative ways of creating awareness. Like I said, building those support groups, just really building that grassroots infrastructure through like support groups, memory cafes, things of that nature. Things that really tap in with the people who are right there on the front lines, providing the care and providing them direct resources that they can really use and apply to their struggle right then and there.
I love that.
So tell them how they can reach you guys.
Yes.
okay. You can reach us. My email is ktaylor1 at carepatrol.com. Cell phone is the best way. You can call me or text me. 817-228-7220 is my direct cell.
Same email, except just no one, ktaylor at carepatrol.com. You can give me a call at 817-650-2550.
And we do have a Care Patrol Facebook page.
And website. So you can go to carepatrol.com and find us there.
I know it says Care Patrol of Arlington, but tell them all the areas that you guys cover so that way they know
We have
who to call.
225 locations across America.
Care
Wow, okay.
Patrols.
Wow.
There are 16 of us directly in Texas, about 8 in the Metroplex. So they can call, we can direct them to whatever area they can go anywhere. We
Even
can
in
direct them.
Canada.
Even in Canada.
Listen.
Wow.
Listen. I love you guys.
Yes.
I thank
We
you for
love
the
y'all.
work that y'all doing in the community and
Yes.
serving our most vulnerable population.
We gotta take
Yes.
care of our seniors, man.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Bree?
I mean, this was just an amazing episode. I'm so glad that you guys are here, and I'm so glad that you were able to bring like invaluable information to the public, because again, most people don't know who to call or where to
Right.
go when they're
don't.
in that transition season, and that's what the Journey Out podcast is about. So I just thank all of you for listening today. I thank Katrina and Kendrick for coming on and just
Yes.
sharing
Very
all
welcome.
that they have to give, because again, you don't know that you need this information until it's
you
right then, and it's maybe too late. So it's so important to just get this while you can, and then share it out. So I encourage everyone to share this information to someone that you know may need it, but also take it in and harbor it for yourself, because you never know if when you might be in this position or a loved one of yours might need this information. So I thank you all for watching, for listening, for sharing, for subscribing. We will see y'all next time on the Journey Out podcast.
Peace out.
Bye.